Okay, what I want to do is shoot a little bit of a video here of this is my Esteem grinder. Things are a little messy at the moment. I say that as if they're much cleaner at other times, but they're about as messy as normal, I suppose. I made a little modification here in order to use my jig and grind a little more accurately. This is the tooling arm that the Esteem grinder has. And I've made a little bit of a modification here. Now, if you see I also made a modification to make the work rest huge, which I love. But here is how this attaches to here. Attaches on here and it can swivel. And what I have done, sorry for the camera work, what I've done here is drilled that, threaded it, put a thumb screw with lock nuts on either side over here so that I will be able to accurately change my angles on my grinder without having them move around too much while I'm grinding. I'm going to put this back on and I'll give you a little demonstration. Okay, so I've got the work rest back on here again, and let's take you down below, let you see what's happening here. So that bolt tightens the work rest area, and what would happen is when you loosen that bolt, besides loosening it to turn it this way, you get play this way. And it made it very difficult. If you didn't loosen it much, you'd be trying to make a minor change to the angle and pull, and all of a sudden make a big change to the angle. So what this allows me to do now with that little thumb screw, see if I can get a decent shot at this. Now I can change this angle simply by doing that. I don't know how well you're able to see. Let me reset the angle here. Okay, so we're at a pretty steep angle here. And we're just turning that. It's changing our angle. Now, for my particular setup, and I've done another video on this, but I've actually made an improvement since then. I have this jig, grinding jig, bevel grinding jig that I use. It's pretty straightforward. I put some corian on the bottom. This side is glued to the corian. This side is not. And this little bolt here compensates for the thickness of the blade that's in there. So when I'm happy grinding, and I do chef's knife, so that's why I need that space. When I'm grinding, now I just have this control that's so easy, and I can grind a little bit, the steep angle, change it a little bit, grind further up towards the spine, grind a little further up towards the spine, and work my way right up the blade really easily. So this is going to revolutionize, I think, or at least make grinding a whole lot easier. But anyway, that is my little hack to my grinder. And pretty much Brett's setup here, and I'm sure he would sell you just a work rest. This is a piece of aluminum that, believe it or not, I just super glued onto my existing work rest, his bigger one. But you can probably, anything with a tooling arm, you're going to be able to use this with. You just bolt it into there. So if you want to get that from Brett, do that little hole. This was $5 in hardware. $5 in hardware if you have the tap already. This is a quarter inch thread I did there. I wouldn't want to do any bigger because the steel is probably 3/8 maybe, or maybe a little bigger. I don't know if it's half, but anyway, it works fantastic, and I am excited to use it. I know how it's going to work because I use this setup all the time, just not always the control that I want. So there's a little hack for you. And anybody, KMG, Bader, anything that uses a tooling arm, you could do a setup like this and I think have a real nice bevel grinding jig and setup.